Chicago police are still searching for whoever shot and killed a passenger in a rideshare vehicle early Wednesday morning. The shooting happened around 1 a.m. near 71st and Stewart in the city's Englewood neighborhood. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office identifying the victim as 23-year-old Dontius Wilson. The rideshare driver says he was suddenly blocked in by another vehicle.
A Uber driver in Chicago escaped death. Blah, 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 blah. He said a car rammed into him. Then another car rammed into him. He said it felt like it was a hit. They got to letting off gunshots, blah, 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 blah. He said that by the grace of God, he survived, but his passenger, a person he picked up, was killed in the backseat of his car. Man, this story crazy as hell. And he said he don't know who the gunman is. He don't live in the neighborhood. He's just a fucking Uber driver.
The guy is coming in one car with armas. Me and another guy
Hit the like button. Gold on this video, 1,000 likes. People need to hear about this shit, man. A lot of people don't understand. Just because it ain't no cash, goddamn it, you gotta, trade cash and pay the Uber driver. You think because it's all credit cards, it's safe. But a motherfucker will rob you for them cars, you will lose your life. And I'm gonna tell you something. You gotta be careful dropping people off late at night on blocks. Because these blocks been in war. People done lost people. People out there are killing people. These little badass kids in the neighborhood are killing people. So anytime a car come down they block slow, looking for addresses and shit, they get to thinking y'all gunmen. They'll fat that bitch up, blah, blah, blah. I believe that's what might have happened. According to an Uber driver, he said he picked up a young man, 23 years old. He picked him up. And on the Uber thing, it showed that he had 2 spots to go to. He wanted to go to a location and then drop back off home. The Uber driver said he picked him up. Everything was good. He took him to his spot, the first spot where he took him to. Everything went okay. He went in, came back out, got in the car. On his way to take this guy home, he said this when it all happened. He said soon he got close to dude's house, a car bumped into him and got to blinking. Blah, 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 blah. Then another car tried to bump into him, almost like they trying to box him in and shit. He said he was concerned because this car was kind of dark and it was 1:30 at night. That was the problem. 1:30 in the morning at night, whatever the fuck you want to call it, coming through a neighborhood. He believes that nobody noticed the guy in the car, or maybe somebody followed him from the first stop that he went to.
The driver did not want to be identified and spoke with us in Spanish for the rest of the interview. After his passenger was shot in the back seat, the driver drove a few blocks away and hid from the suspects before calling police.
Caller says driver, unknown person just shot up his car. He believes the passenger is deceased inside of his car. Caller is hiding. Caller is driving a dark gray Honda sedan.
He don't really know what happened. He said that he just driving and these gunmen bailed out that bitch, blinking at him, and 2 cars trying to, he said he eventually rolled off and got away from their ass. By the grace of God, he got away, got their ass. They ran behind him. He turned left, they go left, then he turned right on their ass and he get away, right? He said while he driving, he noticed that the car started riding funny and shit. The car bumpy as hell and shit. They done shot out his tires and shit. Eventually, the car stopped. He said that he bails out that bitch and go run in the alley and hide in the alley and call the police and tell them, look, gunmen trying to kill me. They shooting at us. They shooting at me and the guy in the back seat. He said he was just so shocked he didn't realize that he still had a passenger. He said he hiding in the alley. He called the police. He hiding in the alley because he don't know if the gunman gonna come. He said he go back to the car. His passenger in the backseat of the car dead, slumped, blood everywhere. Dude slumped in the backseat of the car. Crazy as hell. He said he go back in the alley and hide till the police come. Then the police finally come, he tell them their story. And a lot of people don't understand that, these Ubers coming through these blocks late at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you gotta be careful. It's so much war in these neighborhoods. Sometimes it can be guys in the neighborhood who kill some people from another neighborhood. They retaliate to kill some people from this neighborhood. Then all of a sudden, the Uber driver dropping somebody off in his neighborhood. He riding slow. He looking for houses and shit. A motherfucker think you one of the enemies, the ops. It's so many people lost their life. Any car that come past could be a drive-by. So people be looking in these cars, 1:30 at night, driving slow. That could have been a mistaken identity. Or a dude could have did some crazy shit when he went to that first stop, because he said he dropped them off and he got back in the car, and then on the way to the last stop, that's when this shit happened.
You can see the car now riddled with bullets, its windows shattered.
This crazy as hell though, man. You know, this Uber shit get dangerous. That Uber driver said he just started driving Uber 1 month ago when this shit happened.
The driver says he's only been driving for Uber for a couple of weeks now, and this terrifying ordeal has him rethinking that.
O por lo menos no por esa área.
That area has a lot of problems, he says. I probably won't drive for Uber anymore.
You know, I wanted to tell y'all this story, man, about this Uber driver. Unfortunately, a passenger lost his life. Imagine being a passenger, getting in a motherfucking Uber and lose your life in the Uber. You know, this crazy. Police say they still working this. They don't know what happened. They don't understand what's going on. The guy was going to his own neighborhood, so they find it crazy that people from his own neighborhood had gunned him down in an Uber. Then it wasn't his car, it was an Uber. It was 1 at night, you know, so you barely can look in the car. Just felt like maybe, you know, this was a case of mistaken identity and driving down neighborhoods that you don't really realize there's wars in and shit like that. But, you know, y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think happened, man. Do y'all think this Uber driver was probably driving slow, finicky, looking around for the address to drop these people off, even though he should have GPS in his car, and maybe just some young people doing wild ass shit? It's too many guns out here, you know. People want to kill people and shit. You know, hey, they're gonna op right there, knowing that ain't the op, that's just a cab driver. Or do you think, you know, maybe that dude who was in this car knows some more shit going on? Maybe something happened at that first stop, then he lost his life at that second stop, you know? Leave a comment, I read everything. It's on me, TruthTeller Street Reporter. Blah, 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 blah.
Uber issued a statement about the shooting, saying, quote, "Our hearts go out to the rider's family as they search for answers in the wake of this senseless attack. We've spoken with the driver to check in on his well-being, and we're prepared to support law enforcement however we can as their investigation continues."